Hello everybody, I know you're not used to seeing me quite this scruffy, but I've had a few things going on in my life. Nothing major, nothing to complain about, certainly. The Lord has truly blessed me. Anyway, I know I'm late, but I'm going to do these videos for you now. And this first one is going to be Proverbs chapters 1 through 16. So let's get started. Proverbs chapter 1. The book of Proverbs is about the Proverbs of Solomon. It's written to know wisdom, instruction, and understanding, receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity, to make subtle the simple, and give the young man knowledge and discretion. He says that a wise man will hear and learn, and a man of understanding will attain to wise counsels, to understand both the proverb and its interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. We are advised to listen to our parents, whose instruction and law will be like ornaments and jewelry, both in value and in making beautiful. We're warned to not consent with sinners. We're told some of the things they'll call for us to do with them, like lying in wait to do violence to the innocent without cause, to consume them, to find all precious substance and fill their houses with spoil, asking for us to join with them and share their spoils. Rather, we're advised to not go with them because they're quick to do evil and violence. They try to catch birds, but they can't. They will be rewarded with their violence with violence against them. This is the way of those who are greedy with gain, who take the lives of the owners of wealth. Wisdom, like a woman, calls out to us to stop being simple and scorning and hating knowledge, and instead to turn and learn wisdom. Because wisdom called and some refused to regard it, setting at naught its counsels and having nothing to do with its reproofs, they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would not have the counsel of wisdom and despised all its reproof. Therefore they will get what they give, because turning away the simple and prosperity of fools will destroy them, and wisdom will laugh at their calamity and mock when their fear comes as desolation and their destruction suddenly, as when distress and anguish come on them. However, those who listen to wisdom will be safe and quiet from the fear of evil. Foolishness and wickedness lead to fear and sudden destruction, usually in the ways of wickedness and folly practiced. Therefore, in contrast, wisdom leads to safety and quiet from the fear of evil. Proverbs chapter 2. The promise is given that if we listen to our parents, listen to wisdom and understanding, if we seek knowledge and understanding like precious treasure, we will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God, because the Lord gives wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from His word. He gives wisdom to the righteous and supports those who walk uprightly, keeping the paths of judgment and preserving the way of His saints. Then we will understand righteousness, judgment, and equity, every good path. When we take in wisdom and knowledge as what we seek, discretion and understanding keep us safe, keeping us from the way of evil, who speak froward things. The evil leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, loving to do evil and wickedness. Their ways are crooked, and they are froward in their paths. Wisdom will deliver us from the strange woman, who seems to be an analogy for sin itself, which flatters with words, forsaking the guide of youth and forgetting the covenant of God, which leads to death. Which forgetting leads to death. None who choose to go to her come back, especially after they die in sin. Wisdom would have us walk in the way of good and righteous people. The upright and perfect will remain to live in the land, but the wicked and transgressors will be removed from life. Proverbs chapter 3. We're advised to not forget the law of our parents, but keep their commandments in our heart. They give us long life and peace. We should keep mercy and truth close to us in our hearts. That will give us good favor in the sight of God and others. We're advised to trust the Lord with all our heart, acknowledge Him in all our ways, and not lean to our own understanding, and God will direct our paths. We should not think of ourselves as wise, but fear the Lord and leave evil. It would be health to us. We should honor the Lord with the best of what we have, and He will give us plenty of what we need. We should not despise or be weary of the Lord's chastisement and correction, because the Lord corrects those He loves as a father corrects his beloved son. Those who find wisdom and get understanding are happy, because it's worth more than anything we can desire. Wisdom leads to the length of days, wealth, and honor. Wisdom's ways and paths are pleasant and of peace. Wisdom brings life and happiness, and the Lord created and controls everything by wisdom throughout all of nature. We should keep sound wisdom and discretion by us always. It will make us healthy and make us attractive to others. By wisdom and discretion we will be sure in our walk, and when we lie down we will sleep sweetly and unafraid. We will not be afraid of sudden fear or the desolation of the wicked, even when it comes, because the Lord is our confidence and will be with us to keep us from going astray. We should not hold back when we can give. We should not tell people to come at another time when we can give to them immediately, nor should we devise or practice evil against others who live in security around us. We should not strive with others without cause. We should not envy the oppressor, nor follow in their oppression, because they are an abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. The Lord curses the wicked and blesses the just. He scorns the scorners and gives grace to the lowly. The wise inherit glory, and shame is the promotion of fools. Proverbs chapter 4. We should listen to our parents in their instruction and understanding. They will give us good doctrine, and we should not forsake their law. They learned from those who came before them, and were warned to retain the teaching of their parents to live. Wisdom comes from generations before us. We are advised to get wisdom and understanding and keep it with us always, to love it, to get it with all we can, exalt it, embrace it, and hear and receive wise sayings, learn wisdom and right paths. Wisdom will preserve us and keep us, promote us, bring us to honor, make us attractive, and make something good of us. We will live long lives, not fail in our paths, and if we keep hold of instruction, it is our lives. We should stay away from evil and wickedness. The wicked can't rest until they've done mischief to others. The wicked take in wickedness and violence to their hearts. The path of the just enlightens more and more to the perfect day. The ways of the wicked is hidden, and they don't know what causes them to stumble in it. We should learn wisdom from those who came before and keep what they teach us, because it is life and health to us. We should keep our hearts from evil with all diligence. Out of it comes the issues of life. We should not speak perversely or sinfully. We should make sure that we watch what is good and not what is evil. We should carefully consider what we do and say, and let our ways be established. We should not turn from the right way to either extreme, and we should stay out of evil. Proverbs chapter 5. We're advised to listen to our elders, to regard discretion, and speak knowledge from their wisdom and understanding. We're then given a look at sin and evil, portrayed as a strange woman. It allures with smooth, sweet talk, and ends bitter and sharp. Its ways go to death and hell. Sin's ways are movable and cannot be known. We are warned to listen to our elders and not turn from their wisdom. We are warned to remove our way from sin and stay away, or we will honor others and lose time to cruelty. Strangers will be made rich by us, and we will work for them, and we will mourn in the end, consumed by the ends of sin, wondering how we hated instruction and reproof and didn't obey our teachers and instructors. We would then almost be in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. We're warned to stay with our own wives, to let our joy be dispersed to all and not share wives. We're told to rejoice with the wife of our youth and let her satisfy us and be ravished with her love, and not be tempted by a strange woman. The ways of all of us are before the Lord, who considers all we do and say. Those who commit sin will be punished by the sins they commit, and be bound by their sins. They will die without instruction, and in the greatness of their folly stray. Proverbs chapter 6. We're warned not to refuse to be surety for others, but to pay what we owe on their behalf, to keep us from being caught for refusing to pay. We're warned to not need guides, overseers, or rulers to tell us to work. Rather, we're warned that though sleep is good and necessary, we should also work for our needs and not let oversleeping and laziness bring us to poverty. The queen ant is given as a good example of this principle, and shows that we can work through the work of others as well as our own labors. Those who are wicked speak froward things, act subtly and deceptively with violence, continually devise mischief, and sow discord, and their calamity comes suddenly, as if they are broken without remedy. The Lord considers 7 things an abomination, and they are all connected: pride, lies, violence, wicked thoughts, mischief, false witnessing, and the sowing of discord among those close to each other. We should learn the wisdom of those who came before us, their commandments and their laws always with us in our hearts. They will lead the way for us, taking us to secure times of rest and guiding us when we are awake. The commandment of God enlightens, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life, to keep us from evil and flattering strange women, or sin. We're warned not to lust after strange women with their beauty. A whorish woman brings us to poverty, and the adulterous woman seeks to destroy the precious life. We're warned that we can't be innocent if we touch such a woman. Those who steal are not despised if they do it to take care of their needs, but if they're caught, they will repay everything they can. Those who commit adultery lack understanding and destroy themselves. They will get dishonor, and their reproach will not be wiped away. Jealousy brings rage, and those who are enraged will not spare in the day of vengeance, or regard ransom, or rest content even with many attempts to make amends. This is interesting because Solomon had lots of wives and concubines and has multiple times warned against letting strange women lure us into sin, yet he was lured into sin by the women he married. It just goes to show that even when they sin great sins, there are people who can still teach us a lot in spite of it. Proverbs chapter 7. We're told to keep the words and commandments of our parents as precious to us, always close to keep us from the strange woman of sin which flatters with words. The example of an unwise young man falling into sin is one given with the picture of a sinner, a strange woman dressed like a harlot, wandering the streets to find someone, much like Satan, who is like a ravenous lion seeking whom he may devour. When it's dark out and nobody can see what we're doing is when sin comes to us, loud and stubborn, leaving her house and lying in wait, hidden at every corner. The strange woman of sin catches the unwise young man and kisses him, and has an impudent face as she lays out her cause. She has peace offerings for after the sin is committed, turning away of atonement with God after one has sinned, offering a broken and contrite heart into an attempt to buy forgiveness from God. She has paid vows as if to pay for forgiveness. She has prepared the place of sin, her bed, with beautiful things and perfumed it with sweet smells. She wants this young man to commit adultery with her while her husband is gone on a long journey, as if his absence makes it okay. With much fair speech she turns him to her, but then he's struck and snared, and doesn't realize that he's giving up his life for this momentary pleasure. Sin leads to misery, grief, sorrow, and remorse. And I say this as one who has experienced that as much as anyone else. And I hope that, and I pray for forgiveness for it. And I repent. Here we're warned to not go with this woman of sin, nor follow her, because she has caused many strong men to be wounded and slain by her. Her place of sin is the way to death and hell. Solomon makes this statement about strange women, which can be applied to all sin, which is interesting, since his own wives led him into sin as well. He still spoke wise words of warning to us, even though he didn't heed them himself. Proverbs chapter 8. Wisdom reaches out to the simple and foolish and is desirable to make them wise. Wisdom is offered freely to them. Wisdom speaks excellent, right, and true things, and wickedness and perversity are an abomination to wisdom, which is why wisdom has nothing to do with wickedness and perversity. Wisdom is plain to those who understand, and right to those who find knowledge. Wisdom should be received more than any valuable thing, because it is more valuable than anything. Wisdom dwells with prudence and learns about witty inventions. Hating evil is the fear of the Lord, and wisdom hates pride, arrogance, evil ways, and sinful speech. Counsel and sound wisdom are understanding and have strength of its own. By wisdom do rulers rule. Wisdom gives love to those who give it, and those who seek it will find it. Wisdom often leads to wealth, but it's also more important than any wealth and lasts longer than wealth does. Wisdom was with God before anything was created. Everything was created by God, by wisdom, and everything functions according to wisdom. This is one of many ways in which we know that there is a God, that he created all things, and that he is wise, and that all things work according to wisdom. People delight in wisdom, and wisdom blesses those who keep it, advising us to hear instruction, be wise, and not refuse it. We're advised to hear wisdom, watch and wait for it, to find it, because those who find wisdom find life, and obtain the Lord's favor. But those who sin against wisdom wrong their own souls, and those who hate wisdom love death. Proverbs chapter 9. Wisdom is a source of shelter and provision for us all. Wisdom calls out to those who are simple and want understanding to take in all that wisdom has to offer. Wisdom is to forsake the foolish. and live and go in the way of understanding. Those who reprove scorners and the wicked get shame and marks of abuse. We're warned to not reprove a scorner, or he'll hate us. Rather, we're advised to rebuke the wise, who will love us for our education. If we instruct and teach the wise and just, they will be yet wiser in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the holy is understanding. By wisdom we live long lives. If we would be wise, we are wise for ourselves, and if we scorn, we alone bear it. Contrasted with wisdom, we're told that a foolish woman is clamorous, simple, and knowing nothing. The foolish woman sits at the door of her house and on a seat in the high places of the city, calling as wisdom does to others, so that both wisdom and folly are calling out to us to go to them. This foolish woman claims that theft and secrets are pleasurable, but those who go to the foolish woman instead of the wise woman don't realize that there is death and hell in folly. Proverbs chapter 10. Now we come to the actual Proverbs of Solomon. Wise children make their parents glad, but the foolish are the heaviness of them. There is no profit in treasure of wickedness, which are cast away, but righteousness keeps us safe from death, and the Lord will not suffer us to lack what we need. Those who are lazy don't get what they need, but the diligent get plenty of their needs and are wise. There are blessings on both the just and the memory of them. Violence covers the mouth of the wicked, and their name rots. The wise learn, but prating fools fall from beatings. Those who walk right have sure ways, but those who are perverse will be known. Those who let wickedness happen cause sorrow, but the prating fool falls from beatings. The righteous speak life, but the wicked speak violence. Hatred causes strife, but love covers all sins. Wisdom is in the words of those who understand, and they lay up knowledge, but punishment is for those who lack understanding, and the words of the foolish are near destruction. The rich trust in wealth, and the poor are destroyed by their poverty. The righteous work life, but the wicked work sin. Those who keep instruction are in the ways of life, but those who won't listen are in error. Those who hide hatred with lies and utter slander are fools, and in many words there is plenty of sin. The heart of the wicked is of little worth, and fools die for want of wisdom. But those who hold back their words are wise, and speak words of great value, providing for many. The blessings of the Lord make us truly rich, and do not include sorrow. Fools do mischief like it's a sport, but men of understanding have wisdom. The fear of the wicked is that they would pass quickly and be no more, but will come on them. But the fear of the wicked, that they would pass quickly and be no more, will come on them. But the desire of the righteous to have an everlasting foundation is granted to them. The lazy sent by others is a great irritant to those who send him. Those who fear the Lord will live longer, but those who are wicked will live shorter lives. The hope of the righteous will be gladness, but the wicked can expect to perish. The way of the Lord is strength to the upright, the righteous will never be taken away. The words of the just are wise, and the speech of the righteous is acceptable. In contrast, destruction is to those who work iniquity. The wicked will not inhabit the earth. The mouth of the wicked speaks froward things, and those who speak froward things will be stopped with violence. Proverbs chapter 11. God hates cheating in business, but loves fair business. Pride will bring shame after it comes, but the lowly have wisdom. Integrity guides the upright, but perversion destroys the transgressors. The righteousness of the perfected saves them and directs their ways, saving them from death. The wicked fall by their own wickedness. Transgressors are taken in their own naughtiness, and riches are of no value in the day of wrath. When the wicked die, their expectation is gone, and the hope of the unjust dies with them. When the righteous are saved from trouble, the wicked take their place in it. Hypocrites speak destructive speeches to those near them, but the just are saved through knowledge. The talk of the wicked overthrows the city, but the blessings of the upright exalts it. So the city rejoices when things go well for the righteous, and when the wicked die, there is shouting for joy. Those who don't understand despise those close to them, but those who do understand hold their peace. Gossips reveal secrets, but those of a faithful spirit conceal them. Where there is no counsel, the people fail, but there is safety in many counselors. Those who are surety for strangers suffer for it, and those who hate surety are solid. Gracious women keep honor, and strong men keep wealth. The merciful do good to themselves, but the cruel trouble themselves. The wicked work deceitfully and pursue evil to their deaths, but those of and those of a froward heart are an abomination to the Lord, and even with many helpers the wicked shall not be unpunished. Those who do righteously will surely be rewarded. Righteousness tends to life, and the upright are God's delight. The seed of the righteous will be delivered. It is unseemly for a fair woman to have no discretion, like a jewel in a pig's snout. The desire of the righteous is only good, and they increase when they give abroad. The expectation of the wicked is wrath, and those who keep more than they need will become poor. Those who give liberally will abound, and those who sell what they have will be blessed. Those who withhold what they have will be cursed by the people. Whether you seek good or mischief, it will come to you. Those who trust in wealth will fall, but those who trouble their own people will receive nothing good for it, and the fool will serve the wise, but the righteous will flourish. Those who are righteous will live great lives, and those who win souls are wise. The righteous will be repaid for their righteousness, and so much more the wicked and sinner. Proverbs chapter 12. Those who love instruction love to know, and those who hate reproof are brutish. Those who are wicked will not be established and will be condemned. The righteous will be established and obtain favor of the Lord. A virtuous woman honors her husband, but those who bring shame make their husbands sick. The counsel of the wicked is deceit. The words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, and the wicked are overthrown and are not. The thoughts of the righteous are right. The words of the upright deliver them, and the righteous are established. Those who are wise will be commended. Those who are perverse will be despised. Those despised who have servants are better off than those who honor themselves and don't have what they need. The righteous even care about their animals, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Those who are diligent will earn what they need, but those who follow the vain have no understanding. The wicked desire nets of evil people and are snared by the transgressions they speak. Righteousness brings good to the righteous, who come out of trouble and have good rendered to them for their good. Fools think that their ways are right, but those who listen to counsel are wise, and while a fool's wrath is made known, a prudent man covers shame. Those who speak truth will bring out righteousness, and the tongue of the wise is health, and true speaking will be established forever, and joy is to the counselors of peace. False witnesses speak deceit. Sinful people speak harmful words. A liar's speaking is momentary, and deceit is in the hearts of those who imagine evil. No evil will come to the just, but the wicked will be filled with mischief. Lies are an abomination to the Lord, but the truth is his delight. The prudent keep knowledge inside, but the fools spread foolishness. The diligent will rule, while the lazy and deceitful will be under tribute. Grief makes people stoop under its weight, but good words spoken can make people glad. The righteous are more excellent than those near them, while the way of the wicked seduces the wicked. The lazy don't care about wasting what they get, while the diligent value it highly. Righteousness leads to life and no death. Proverbs chapter 13. The wise listen to their parents, but scorners ignore them. We will receive good for good words, but transgressors will get violence. Those who watch what they say stay safe, while those who gab have destruction. The lazy desire and have nothing, but the diligent have whatever they work to get. The righteous hate lying, and their righteousness keeps them, while the wicked are loathsome, come to shame, and are overthrown in their wickedness. The ransom of a person's life are their riches, while the poor don't listen to rebuke. Thus those who have nothing and are rich, thus there are those who have nothing and are rich, and there are those who have great wealth and make themselves poor. The enlightenment of the righteous leads to joy, but the sight of the wicked will be put out. Only by pride does contention come, but there is wisdom with the well-advised. Wealth gotten by vanity will waste away, but those who work for what they have will gain more. When hope is far away, a person feels heartsick, but when their hope comes, it brings them good life again. Those who despise the word will be destroyed, but those who fear the commandment will be rewarded. The law of the wise brings life, and brings away from death. Good understanding brings favor, but the way of transgressors is hard. Those who are prudent deal with knowledge, but fools expose their folly. Wicked messengers fall into mischief, but faithful messengers encourage health. Poverty and shame come to those who refuse to listen, but those who regard reproof are honored. When we get what we want, it is sweet to us, but it is an abomination to fools to leave evil. Those who hang out with the wise will be wise, while those who hang out with fools will be destroyed. Evil pursues sinners, but the righteous but to the righteous good will be repaid. The good leave an inheritance to their grandchildren, and everything that the sinful receive goes to the just. The poor have much food in their hard work, but there are those who are destroyed for want of judgment. Those who refuse to correct their children hate them, but those who love their children chastise them at times. The righteous only eat until they are satisfied. The wicked will constantly want. Proverbs chapter 14. The wise build while the foolish tear down. Those who are upright fear the Lord, but the perverse despise God. Foolish talk comes from pride and leads to punishment, but the speech of the wise will keep them safe. We should be grateful for what we have. Even though a place is clean without it, we profit much by having it. So let's not begrudge what brings us our needs because of the mess it makes. Faithful witnesses won't lie, but false witnesses will. Scorners eventually might look for wisdom, but they can't find it. But those who understand get knowledge easily. We should stay away from the foolish when we realize that they don't speak with knowledge. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand their way, while the folly of fools is deceit. Fools mock sin, but there is favor among the righteous. We all know our own bitterness, and others do not meddle with our joy. The wicked will be overthrown, while the upright will flourish. There is a way that seems right to us, which leads to death. People can laugh in sorrow, and even mirth doesn't end heaviness. Backsliders will get what they give, and so will the good. The simple believe everything, while the wise investigate carefully. The wise fear and leave evil, but fools rage in confidence. Those who get angry quickly deal foolishly, and those who devise wickedness are hated. The simple inherit folly, while the wise get knowledge. The evil bow before the good, and the wicked are humbled before the righteous. The poor are hated even of those close to them. The rich have many friends. Those who hate those close to them sin, while those who have mercy on the poor are happy. Those who devise evil are in error, while mercy and truth is to those who devise good. It's profitable to work, while talking all the time leads only to penury. The glory of the wise is their wealth, but the foolishness of fools is folly. True witnesses save lives, while false witnesses speak lies. Fearing the Lord leads to strong confidence, and God's children can always run to Him. The fear of the Lord brings life and brings us away from death. Those in authority get their authority from those they rule. Those who are slow to anger are understanding, and those who are hasty are foolish. Contentment brings life, while envy makes us sick. Those who oppress the poor hate their Maker, but those who honor their Maker have mercy on the poor. The wicked are gone in wickedness, while the righteous have hope in death. Wisdom is in those who have understanding, but that which is with fools is exposed. Righteousness exalts a nation, while sin is a reproach to us all. The king favors the wise and is angry against those who bring shame. Proverbs chapter 15. The Lord is always watching both the evil and the good. Fools despise the instruction of their ancestors, but those who regard reproof are prudent. Wholesome speech brings life, while perverse speech breaches the spirit. The wise speak knowledge right, but fools speak on and on with foolishness. A soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. The righteous have much treasure, while the wicked have trouble. The wise speak about knowledge, but not the foolish. Sacrifices of wickedness are an abomination to the Lord, but He delights in the prayers of the upright. The way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but He loves those who are righteous. Correction only grieves those who forsake the way, and those who hate reproof will die. Hell and destruction are before the Lord, more so the hearts of us all. Scorners don't love those who reprove them, nor will seek the wise. Happiness brings cheerful looks, but sorrow breaks the spirit. Those who have understanding seek knowledge, but fools speak and take in foolishness. Those who are afflicted see suffering in every day, but those who are happy see a feast before them. Little with the fear of the Lord is better than great treasure with trouble. Angry men bring up strife, but those who are slow to anger appease strife. The way of the lazy snares and holds back, while the way of the righteous is clear. Wise children make their parents glad, but foolish children despise their parents. Those who have no wisdom take joy in folly, but those who understand are upright. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors are they established. We have joy by our answers, and a word that is spoken at just the right time is good. The way of life reaches down to the wise to keep them from the way of hell. The Lord destroys the proud, but establishes the widow. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant. Those who are greedy trouble those who live with them, but those who turn down gifts will live. The righteous study a matter to figure out how to answer it. The wicked speak evil things. The Lord is far from the wicked, but hears the prayers of the righteous. What is good to the eyes brings joy to the heart, and good reports can improve health. Those who hear the reproof of life live with the wise. Those who refuse to learn despise themselves, but those who hear reproof get understanding. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and humility comes before honor. Proverbs chapter 16. What our hearts prepare and what we speak comes from the Lord, though we think and speak it. We all think our ways are right, but the Lord weighs the spirits. We should commit our work to the Lord, and our thoughts will be established. God has made everything for himself, including the wicked, for the day of evil. All who are prideful are an abomination to the Lord. Even with many helpers they will not escape punishment. By mercy and truth sin is purged, and the fear of the Lord causes us to leave evil. When our ways please the Lord, God makes even our enemies to be at peace with us. A little with righteousness is better than much without right. We come up with our own ways, but the Lord guides us, just like how he guides our hearts in speaking. The king speaks divine sentences and does not transgress in judgment. Justice in business is of the Lord, and it is all his work. For kings to commit wickedness is abomination, because their rule is established in righteousness. Kings love those who speak right. The wrath of a king leads to death, but the wise pacify it. In the light of the king's favor is life, and gives much that we need. Wisdom is more valuable than anything. The way of the upright is to leave evil, and those who keep that way preserve themselves. Pridefulness goes before destruction and a fall. It is better to be humble with the lowly than to take part with the prideful. Those who handle matters wisely find good, and those who trust the Lord are happy. The wise are called prudent, and their sweet speeches increase learning. Understanding is life to those who have it, but fools can only teach folly. The wise heart teaches the wise what to say and adds learning. Pleasant words are sweet and can bring health. There is a way that seems right to us, but its ways are death. Those who work for themselves. They take in what they earn. The ungodly bring up evil and speak burning words. The froward bring strife, and gossips separate the closest of friends. The violent entice their neighbor and lead them into evil, blocking everything out to devise evil things and speaking evil to make it come to pass. Signs of old age are glorious if they are in the way of righteousness. Those who are slow to anger are better than the mighty, and those who control themselves are better than conquerors of cities. People cast lots to make choices, but the Lord makes the decisions. And that was Proverbs chapters 1 through 16. I thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll be with me next time for Proverbs 17 through 31. Until then, God bless you all in every way, in Jesus' name.